Hello. All right, so I had to make some adjustments because I think today may be our day of this may be our time of transition from Facebook Live. It just kicked me out, you guys, and I was like, wait a minute. So good morning to you. Let me get this saved over to Facebook to invite you guys over to Facebook as well. So hello. All right. So we are live on this wonderful YouTube channel. Let me get you guys in. Oh, here we go. Okay, so I'm about to send this over to Facebook, and we're just gonna go live on on YouTube. So let me tell my people, Rise and Grind Live is streaming now on YouTube. Subscribe plus share. And here's the link. All right, let's see if we're going good. There we are. Good morning to you, Windy City Trucker. Thank you so much for joining in. All right, we had some tech difficulties on Facebook Live, but it may just be the day that it's time to go. Come on in YouTube. Who knows? This may be my day. This may be our final time with Facebook Live. But I have some good content for you today. I have the 5 heartbeats of creating your, of sustaining your own economy. And then we're going to focus in on the 3rd heartbeat. So I'm going to give you guys a quick second to come on in. Thank you so much for saying good morning. Thanks for letting me know that I am live. We are going to probably just go ahead and leverage YouTube for this because I can't keep doing this, Facebook. I can't keep letting you guys cut me off and then not let me back in. I don't understand. All righty. So let me turn off this good old intro. And I want to thank Mr. Lester Shaw for developing and creating such an awesome intro for me. I've been using that now for about 1.5 years, 2 years, and it's called Success. And I actually contacted him and I was like, listen, I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and I need to have my own intro. Because what happened was I was using some music, and like everyone, we use this music. We didn't know about the whole copyright thing. You get in Facebook jail or social media jail for using the copyrights. And so I said, hey, let me go ahead and invest in my own theme song so I can just, just have my own thing and not get flagged. So anyway, thank you guys for joining in. I really appreciate you joining here and coming over to YouTube, to my YouTube people who are discovering me. Thank you so much for discovering Latoya Rose. I ask that you go ahead and subscribe, click the bell so you'll know when I go live. I will be going live a lot more often here on YouTube, especially since today. I really woke up. I had a really great message, and for Facebook to just kick me out, I don't even know what to say right now. But I want to just reiterate. One, I want to thank Miss Ashley Jackson. She has Lux, Luxx, Lux Me Jewelry out of Tulsa, Oklahoma for this wonderful set. She is a paparazzi distributor, so they have the $5 jewelry, nickel-free, lead-free. And so I just want to appreciate her today and esteem her, and just tell you guys, if you need some good old jewelry, good $5 jewelry, nice costume jewelry, pretty sturdy, good paparazzi jewelry is great. Ashley Jackson and Lux Me Jewelry got you covered. These frames, people love these frames. I actually got these from Naturally Versatile out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. The owner is Miss Jennifer Brown, and she has frames on sale for the holiday season too. So she has they range from anywhere from $10 to about $15. Cool little frames. Get you some. get stylish and profiling. All right, so now that we got that out the way, I just want to go ahead and get into the content because I think that it's very important for us to dive deep and dig deep and get on into it because I don't want to hold you guys long. I usually, with Rise and Grind Live, I come to you guys for 30 minutes and I'm helping you strengthen your mindset, your business, and your net worth, right? Whether it's giving you various challenges to do to implement right then and there in your life or in your business, or it's something that you need to kind of reflect upon and ponder on to take action later. I'm here to really not act as though I am God or that I'm perfect, but to really bring you guys information, not from theory or what I heard, but what I know, right, from experience. And so a lot of times people go through things and instead of them being honest about their own experience with it, they don't really understand how to position themselves as an expert because they don't want to have that vulnerability. But we all know being vulnerable is not a bad thing. You know, people relate to people buy from people want to hear the real, you know, and they want to know okay, here's where you went, where you messed up, or here's where you bumped in the road. Here's how, how do I do it? Okay, here's how you did it. All right, here's my situation. Let me figure out how I can implement what you did or how you got it overcame with how I can overcome. And so really being honest and vulnerable, like I said, is very, very, very important. Hello there, Tremaine. Thank you so much for joining in. I appreciate my truckers for showing up. Thank y'all. So let's dive deep into it. I'm going to be talking about the 5 heartbeats of your economy, and we're going to focus on number 3 today. But let me give you all 5 because this is kind of a series of information. So the first one deals with self. So you, right? The second one is family. When I talk about family, I'm talking about the current people who are living, as well as those people who have passed on, yet their influence is still current in your life. The third one, business. We're going to talk more about that one. The fourth one deals with legacy. So these are your perpetual generations to come, right? These are the family that's going to be here that you may not physically meet, but that the work that you do right now, the grind time that you put in right now will either positively or negatively affect that legacy. The 5th heartbeat deals with currency, and we're actually going to focus more on that on Friday. So currency deals with diversifying your portfolio, not just having money, but also understanding that there are other assets that can be classified as currency. Number 1, currency is energy, right? So flowing into not just the money, but also the human capital. Who has what you need? Who can help you in what you're doing? Who can help connect those dots? Who can help you with exerting the energy to put in the work? Who can help you with also enjoying the fruits of the labor? So currency, the human capital of a thing, the finances that are tied to a thing, as well as the various assets. So whether it's equipment, whether it is buying more, getting new stuff, whatever that looks like, currency deals with that. So how we channel the currency depends a lot on our mindset and our visions, right? And vision of how we want to be for the later days. So we're going to focus in on number 3, the 3rd heartbeat of your economy, which is business. And I'm going to identify 5 major heartbeats that a lot of entrepreneurs do not focus a lot on. And then people who are kind of transitioning into entrepreneurship, maybe you've not had to think about being a entrepreneur. Maybe, you chose the industry where you could go and work 9 to 5 or work a salary and you be clear and you'll be cool, right? So these are 5 areas that I just kind of want you to focus in on and really ask yourself and acknowledge, okay, is that strong or can I strengthen it? Is that solid or can I strengthen it? 1, business formation. So we talk about sole proprietor, and that deals with your business structure. So structuring the business first legally, and then we can talk about logos and all that other beautiful stuff. The brand recognition stuff, right? So legal structure deals with, are you going to be a sole proprietor? Are you going to be a LLC? Are you going to be a partnership? Are you going to be a corporation? If you're going to be a corporation, is it going to be a C Corp where it's separate from the owner? Or is it going to be an S Corp where it passes through, where it can be a pass through for the owners? What is that going to look like? So a lot of you all have been reading. Some of you guys have been taking advantage of various products like LegalZoom and places like that. Private people like myself, maybe even your local SBA, Small Business Association, maybe urban leagues, whatever, right? You've gotten some form of clarity somewhere. I will tell you, if your clarity came from self and self only, then you may want to also employ someone's expertise to make sure that you chose the correct structure. Because whenever you first structure your business, a lot of times we structure our business based off of where we are right then and there. So as you're developing the business and you haven't really made a lot of money, so you say, well, I'm just going to be a sole proprietor. And then when you find that sweet spot in the business and it really takes off, really you should have been a C Corp or a S Corp, depending on, again, the situation and the vision. As well as when you're doing this business formation, I want you to not just think about, again, where you are right then, but also you have to keep in mind the expansion points. So you will be hiring on new employees one day. You may also have, multiple locations one day. You may have people who want to franchise out your model or license out your model one day. So in that business formation, which is the key to entrepreneurship, do not skip this part, because even when you have a mindset of, I'm just doing this to try something, you still want to come in it with a plan of action. And so that business formation is very much key. It's the heartbeat of entrepreneurship. The second heartbeat deals with taxes and business accounting. Why am I wanting to even talk about that? Well, I'm a tax strategist. I'm a profit strategist. I make sure that when you come into this thing called entrepreneurship, and as you're operating, that you are with integrity and with your future in mind, able to scale and be profitable, right? And to sustain that and to keep it coming with good intentions. And so the thing that I want to talk about as it relates to taxes and business accounting, right? They depend on you being accurate. So that means employing either a software that keeps up with your bookkeeping or hiring a bookkeeper, making sure you have someone there who understands, again, fiscal affairs, someone who can help you plan according to the end goal in mind. Not necessarily the current situation where you are, but the end goal in mind, okay? The next thing deals with making sure that you file a comprehensive tax return. As it relates to this new tax code, there's a lot of different shifts. And if you really don't know, or if you're kind of listening to other people, you may assume that this new tax code, that it's not going to scathe you. Like you can just wait until the tax desk. It's not going to be a big deal. But the thing is that you must always tax plan. You must, based off of the new tax law, it will help you in operating and functioning throughout the year. See, so many people leave money on the table. Parents with kids, they leave so much money on the table that if you're depending solely on yourself to prepare your tax return, then you would not necessarily know all of the money that you're leaving on the table. The reason why you want to employ someone who taxes and business accounting, business finance is their thing, because they are inundated in an industry. So they're always looking for the loopholes. They're always looking for the advantages, the incentives that they can pass on and educate you so that you can take advantage of. Yet, if you isolate yourself because you say, well, I don't want to spend the money, I don't want to invest the money into someone else to do something that I can do myself. Well, if you're a carpenter, why do you want to sit here and figure out taxes? If you're a truck driver, why do you need to sit here and figure out taxes? If you are an interior designer, why do you want to stop your creativity, stop your genius to come figure out something over here and spend more money because you're losing time doing your genius because you don't want to invest whatever that ticket price is to hire the bookkeeper, the tax accountant, the tax attorney? Because then what happens is you end up having to spend more money hiring on a tax attorney or an enrolled agent to represent you when you go through an audit, right? So these are things that I want you to keep in mind, because it's not about, again, I'm not telling you to go out here and just hire any and everybody just because they say that they do taxes or whatever the case may be. But I am telling you to do your due diligence to understand that you potentially are leaving a lot of money on the table when you try to isolate yourself, or when you don't focus in on taxes and business accounting until peak tax season, which is January through April 15th. The third heartbeat of business that I want to speak about And this really comes when you are clear, one, about what your genius is. And so sometimes, you know, hiring a business coach or hiring somebody to really help you focus in on what it is you're supposed to do. He said, no, that's what I need you for. Yes, Windy City Trucker. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. A lot of people, but you know, the thing is that a lot of people have a lot of work that needs to be done because they procrastinate. And so they pile up. And then when it gets down to it, it's like, okay, here's your priority. I know that you got 2017 taxes, but you haven't filed taxes since 2012. We got to get you caught up because, you know, you may got a letter, you know, for one of those years that you owe taxes, but in order to negotiate, it's so much. And we have to get you caught up first before we can ever negotiate anything with IRS, right? But people don't see that. They see, well, I just need this. I just really need to try to get me a refund this year. Well, you can't get a refund because if you owe, they're going to get you. I'd rather take care of the business and sacrifice now for a better lifetime later than to keep trying to run from something that I know I should be taken care of. And that's what taxes is all about. But thank you, Windy City Trucker. So the third thing, again, comes with clarity. It's content and delivery. Content and service delivery, excuse me. So this is content right here. My consultations, that's content. As I get to know people's situations, their realities, I'm able to develop content that can educate people who are like that person that I come across. Case in point, I had a business startup. It was a digital program. It was like it was 8 modules long, and it took a person from start really to finish. And what I mean by that, like module 1 dealt with all of that business formation stuff. And then like module 2 dealt with helping them develop their products. Module 3 dealt with like pricing. And then I want to say module 4 dealt with sales. And we got them all the way to the point of going beyond invoicing or just looking at the individual client and expanding their mindset as it relates to government contracting, business credit, and things of that nature. So that was like a comprehensive digital product that, although I could have just set it and forget it and hope that people went and found it, I was very much actively involved with plugging that product in with people. So in doing that, during my consultations, I had, you know, of course, my sales script where I had a lot of questioning that really helped get them down to the final decision of yay or nay. But then if it was nay, realizing too, still being able to get them to the point of what is it going to cost you for them to acknowledge what it would cost them for not taking action right then, right? And so all of that was content development, right? You come across different rebuttals or objectives. Oh, I don't have the money. Oh, well, we have this, that, and the other going on in the house, or, we're planning to go on vacation. Or, well, I really wasn't thinking that it was going to be that expensive. People have all types of reasonings why they don't want to invest at a level that will give them what they need. People like to nickel and dime their own purpose and their own vision. But it's not for you, my friend, if this is you, to get caught up in that. It's for you to realize I'm developing content that this can be used, repackaged as content to help someone else. So don't get so caught up in making these sales that you lose focus of the content that you're developing. Your life experiences, your disappointments, your frustrations, all of that is content. And I know I have truckers that follow me and they're probably thinking, well, all I do is drive a truck. No, you remember that phone call that you had when your kid called you and they were crying because something happened at school, but you're way across the country and you had to, in that moment, really get them to a point of comfort to understand that, well, I can't get home to you, child, but I'm here for you. I'm supporting you. That's content. Another trucker needs to understand as they're building a family or, as they're cultivating their family, how to keep those relationships healthy. That content, that experience that you had is content, right? That they would need. So now let's talk about service delivery. Oh no, let me go back. So content, there's planned and there's unplanned content. So unplanned content is like that phone call you got, it was off the whim. You didn't plan to get that content, right? But you got it. That's unplanned content. Planned content is where you sit, you make your notes, and you're really thinking about, okay, here's the points I'm going to make, right? So that's planned content. Unplanned content, again, is like that stuff that just happens and we got to kind of wing it a little bit, right? It still is content that can be leveraged, that is still powerful, is what we got to realize. Now, service delivery deals with the connection of your genius, your experiences, your planned and unplanned content with the people who need it. So service delivery means you either going to be leveraging automation, leveraging technology, leveraging face-to-face interaction to, you know, be able to spread the good news to people. That's service delivery. Also, think about balancing. You have to balance out your digital presence with your local presence. What does that look like? I remember when I first got started in digital media, I loved it because I thought, man, I could dress nice from the neck up, make money, do what I need to do, and be great. But then when I would go locally and walk around, no one knew who I was. No one knew that I was a solution. No one knew that I was an asset. No one knew that I was a resource. I literally went locally just to kind of go to the store and get back to the house. That isolates you after a while because, again, there's people locally who need what you have. And what I mean by local is truckers. When you go to a truck stop, that's your opportunity to interact. Now, you have to do it safely because there are so many people who are praying with the E on my truck drivers. I don't understand what's wrong with y'all, or on people, right? And so you have to be mindful when you're doing local interaction, but you still have to be mindful even on digital interactions because we've seen it all. People are scheming, scamming, you know, over promising, under delivering, or not delivering at all. And people are getting caught up. So you just got to really find that balance of how you're connecting your genius with people, leveraging both the digital world and your local. And then realizing, number 3, with content and service delivery, that you got to stay in your lane. And what I mean by that is, don't look at what everybody else is doing. You can't be a YouTuber like everybody else is YouTubing. You can't be a content developer like everybody else is doing it. Your approach and your delivery of how you do things needs to be authentically to you. See, what people love about me is they can tell, one, when I'm being authentic, and they can tell when I'm blowing smoke, when I'm just kind of trying to get it out, but I'm trying to stay politically correct. My people don't like when I stay politically correct. You know why? Because they rather me be transparent. They rather me be vulnerable. They rather me just give it to them like it is. And I think that's fair. I believe that sometimes when you're trying to be too politically correct or too polished, when you're trying to be too polished, when you do make mistakes, now people be like, oh no, you're supposed to be polished. You're perfect. You can't make mistakes. And then that's when you get all these rips and rafts with people, you know, trying to expose folks. And it's like, well, just stay authentic to who you are. Tell people, really, look, y'all, here's what I'm doing. Now, I've done this, but there's moments where this ain't working and I have to go and I have to tap in over here. Be honest with people. I think a lot of times when we're not honest, that's when people start calling people frauds, scammers, and all that other stuff. When you're not honest, when your intentions are not to truly deliver the real, raw, being really vulnerable and transparent to people, that's when they have an issue with you. That's when they have an issue with you. When you try to sit here and be so perfect and polished in this service and content delivery that, you know, when you make a mistake, you try to disappear so people will forget about it. And then, no, be who you're going to be. Again, today was all tech era, and tomorrow I have a special guest that's coming on. So I really don't have time for any tech eras. Why? Because I have a special guest. You know, for me to have a tech era when it's just me, I'm like, okay, cool. But I can't run away from the fact that I have tech eras. I can't run away from the fact that, you know, things are happening on the back end. In fact, people need to not just see that I showed up, because then they'll misperceive and think, oh, well, she came late on her show up. No, at a tech era. But even in that tech era, I didn't allow it to stop me, right? I didn't say, well, I'm just going to let Facebook be what Facebook was. No, I said, well, what else? What other tools do I have? Well, I got I have this that automatically, I literally press a button and it connects me and gets me streaming without all that connecting and trying to figure out APIs and all of that, right? So I love me some StreamYard. Get you StreamYard. If you don't know how to connect on YouTube and stream on YouTube, this is a great product and tool that you can use. But you don't allow things, circumstance, situations, things that don't go your way to cause you to lose your authentic voice. And so in developing your content and doing your service delivery, keep that in mind. Stay authentic, be vulnerable, and communicate. Communicate when you can't. Do those things, but don't come being phony and fake, because people are going to call you out on it, and it just is what it is. Okay. The fourth heartbeat that entrepreneurs need to be focused on is pricing. This is one of the hardest parts of entrepreneurship for a lot of people. One, because they just have a very limited belief system as it relates to money. Or they feel like, oh, well, $20, I can lose $20. You know, people who don't value their money, or they're okay with just kind of losing out. Those are dangerous folks, because they will literally operate something, a expensive hobby. And if it never renders them a profit, they'll be like, oh, I'm okay. This is what it is. And it's like, no, it's not is what it is, right? So setting your business to earn consistently is very important. Pricing. I also want you to think about tier pricing. So you may have seen people that say, oh, come get this free download. And then as you're doing that, as you're downloading that download, they also may have a trigger where they're offering you something else, right? An upsell. Or within that email, they're nurturing you and communicating and educating. But then at the end of it all, they're going to ask you to come and commit to something, right? To make an investment some way, somehow, of your time and your money, right? And so that's tier pricing. They have that low-hanging fruit, they have that middle of the road, and then, they have that premium pricing for those people who want to take advantage of premium pricing. Me personally, I don't do one-on-one coaching anymore because I realized that I like to really, I invest a lot of time with people. And so for someone to say, oh, I just need a few sessions with you because that's all I can afford, I just rather price that at a premium situation and then just help people plug them into some of my lower tier group coaching or digital products so that they can get to a point. Because what I realized is I give premium effort. So why would you price your premium effort at the low hanging fruit price, knowing that it's going to overexert you out? So knowing that, and really that came with experience, that came with bumping my head here in the industry of consulting and coaching and strategizing, being a strategist. And so I realized I don't want to do it one-on-one unless that person is truly, truly committed. And the one way to do that is for them to invest at a premium price. Because let me tell y'all, because I saw this on YouTube, so I want to kind of talk about it. Let me drink a little bit of my ginger ale. So, and I feel like I created a beast. That's the reason why I want to kind of talk about this, because I feel like I intensified or gave this person fuel to do what they're doing. And I'm gonna tell you why. People will watch a person and they will say, I can do that, or I can do it better, or I'm gonna show them how to do it better. And then regardless of their intentions, right? Their intentions may be money driven, while the person that they're watching their intention is transformation. I want to truly transform a person into the better, while this person's intention is just to get paid. So some of y'all know what I'm talking about already. So you have some people who their intention is only to get paid. So they're out here doing what I'm talking about right now, especially as it relates to this pricing situation, where they're pricing their stuff so low that it's a no-brainer for you to invest, but they're pricing it at a monthly investment that you're forgetting that you even have that coming out. And not until life happens where now you got to start gathering your coins and you got to figure out, well, where's my money going, that you start paying attention to, oh, I've been spending money out. Let me, hold on. What am I spending my money on? Oh, okay. Let me go find this in my email. Let me go find the login. Let me go into this. Then you go into it and you're like, there's nothing here. So it's very dangerous for a person to pay a monthly something, and it's dangerous for you to say yes to something, pay your money, and let months go by before you go log in. Because everyone has fine print. They have those disclaimers. Most say money back guarantee, but there's a disclaimer if you read the fine print. Read the fine print, my friends, and you will not be feeling bamboozled. We only feel bamboozled when we say to ourselves, well, I'm going to give this money. Oh, that ain't a lot of money. Let me just give that. And I'll get to it when I can get to it. And you never get to it. And then when you do get to it, it's not what you wanted. So now you have this buyer's remorse, but because you didn't do the due diligence when you made the initial investment, you're now on the hook for even more money, or can't get back what you've already spent out. I'm going to tell you right now. If this has happened to you, instead of prolonging, well, let me just hold on a little while longer. If the service communication is not there, and you get to the final mindset or thought process that this person's intent was only to get my money, but not to deliver, then you cannot, it does a disservice to our society for you to either take up because you're embarrassed that you made such a crazy investment of judgment. But to those people who keep plugging other people into, when you finally realize that something is not right, something in the milk ain't clean, and you keep plugging people into it because of your embarrassment and shame of ego of, man, I made a mistake. Well, I don't want nobody to know I got tricked. That's where we keep things going. That's where people start mistrusting, this digital world, even the face-to-face world. But also in it, when people mistreat us and disrespect our visions and the fact that we need help, and they take our money and they underdeliver or they don't deliver at all, you have to realize you got to educate and tell people that's content. We're going back to number 3. That's content, right? Hey, y'all, here's what happened. I had a need, because it happened to me. I had a need to understand business credit and to get that information to my tribe. And unfortunately, because of needing something or being in desperation of getting a level of information, sometimes a person can talk really, really good and look so polished that that when you get deeper in the surface, right, after the investment of time and money, and you realize that that is not the resource for you, then when you go to tell the very people, hey, y'all, okay, hold on, here's where it was, here's how we even got introduced to this person, but this person is not truly what they are, you have to trust the person who connected you there and understand that, hey, I got some insight that you not going to get to see. And because I got some insight, I'm trying to help you not lose more money. But yet people will be like, well, nah, girl, because I need empowerment. Well, I thought so you're paying for empowerment, or are you paying to get your credit and stuff together? What are we paying? What's the investment for now? Oh, you Google Gaga over the nice suit that done got too tight? What are you not? What are we talking about here? So I think a lot of times people have to realize something as it relates to pricing, especially this tier pricing thing, is that just because something is priced at a level that's a no-brainer for right now, do not get caught up in that. Really look. If you're truly not ready to implement the content that goes with your investment, then wait to make the investment. Don't worry about that fear of missing out, because guess what? It's a sales tactic. We all learn it in sales. Give them the fear of missing out. We only have 20 slots left. We're starting this in 48 hours. If you get caught up in it, you might get lost in the sauce. Now, I have a couple of promotions that's coming up that truly are 48-hour blitz sales. Like, that's it. I've not seen the pricing be like this before, okay? These are a part of companies that I'm not a part of, that I'll be sharing with you guys later on in the week. But my thing is this. These people, even myself, us who have our own private label stuff, and it's a sales tactic. It's called the fear of missing out. So a lot of you guys got bamboozled via the fear of missing out. And you felt like, well, let me make this investment now because it's only $50 a month. It's only whatever a month. And a lot of you guys have lost a lot of money and a lot more. And when I'm saying a lot of money, because you lost time, because you thought that you invested in something that later on, when you go to open it, it was going to be something, and it wasn't. That happened to me with the company, and I literally paid for like 8 months. I think I was paying like $35 a month. I think I had to pay $10 to get in. It was like $35 a month. And once I logged in and I went in there, I thought, man, all of this that was there was duplicated benefits, services, and whatever else. And the main reason why I had joined into it, I had already been taking care of that. So it was kind of one of those things where that money was gone. It was spent out. It was kind of hard to say, oh, and go to your bank and say, oh, well, I didn't. Listen, sometimes you got to take the L, right? You got to take the L, but don't keep losing once you realize that you've been bamboozled. The fifth heartbeat of entrepreneurship deals with the people and not just clients, y'all. I'm talking about the partnerships, the collaborations, yes, the clients, and also your team. Your team, your clients, your collaborations, and your partnerships, y'all are all working towards a win-win. There has to be a win-win in the end. It can't just be this person's getting rich and we're sitting in the sideline. What is it? What's the win-win? What transformation are you offering? What value are you going to be offering? What results have you produced before to back up all that you're talking about? And I'm talking about real results. I ain't talking about no went and paid for some reviews. I'm talking about real results. So how does that come? Win-wins. There's a problem. There's solutions, various ways to skin a cat. There's execution and implementation. And then there's results. And then there's reflection. And then there's repeat. Rinse and repeat, right? Or adjust and repeat. May have to adjust some steps. But understanding that the people is what's going to drive you in entrepreneurship. Knowing who you're serving, knowing whose problems you're solving, knowing how or who's going to help you in making sure you seal the deal on these transformations. All of that is very, very important. But it's about a win-win. It's not about a one-sided relationship or a one-sided win. It has to be a win-win. If only one person is winning, then ain't nobody winning. Realize that. Remember that. If the people that you follow on social media, they're steady winning and they're steady connecting the dots, and it's like they're not putting you on, they're not acknowledging you, they're not even trying to help educate you, they're not even concerned with your reality to help, put you in position you better. They just want to keep winning. They want you to keep highlighting their wins, and you keep getting caught up in their wins, and you're not winning. That's a problem. And you have to refocus your energy and rechannel that energy so that you too are winning. There's a difference between being inspired by a person and just flat out envious of them. See, some of you guys are watching people and you really have an envious heart. You really are looking at them like, man, I should have. Well, if they doing it, I should be able to do it. They're not even smart enough. They don't even know how to talk. Look at that slang that they use. Listen to that accent that she has. I could do it better than that. I'm more pretty than her. How dare she go live? She ain't even the most pretty thing in the world. But see, I have the audacity to realize that there is a win-win in my show up. That's why I show up. I show up with great intentions to transform. And I realize now more than ever that there are sharks, not just here on digital, but also in local settings. There are people looking for people like myself, the people who have the audacity to show up even in their flaws, even in their brokenness, even in their uncertainties. They still show up. Because once you're clear about your message and the fact that you have one, no matter what circumstance or situation that tries to distract you, technology, money, family, or the lack thereof, when you show up, that's what's key. Show up with great intention. Do not show up in desperation, because you will then come off as a scam, schemer, fraud when you show up in desperation. Why? Because a desperate spirit is only coming for what they want. They're only coming to get their win. They're not coming for a win-win. They're coming for their win. So realizing what energy is driving this person. I ain't seen this person in a while. Now they're coming and they're nurturing us, and now they want, wait a minute. Where's the win-win? When you're in a desperate state, you don't care about the win-win. You care about winning, but you don't care about how everybody else gonna win too. You care about winning. You winning only, right? They're gonna win eventually. They'll win if they do woo woo woo. They'll win. No. The intent is to stay driven on everyone else's winning. That's why I show up. No matter technical difficulties or whatever, I show up because I'm coming for you to win. I know that in my show up, I'm going to win because you're going to get the content. You get to see what it is you need to see. And you're going to naturally win when you implement. So I'm going to win when I show up because I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm giving you the content. I'm giving you the fuel to strengthen your mindset, your business, and your net worth. As you implement and consistently implement, you're going to win. So with me in mind, with you in mind, that's why I show up, so that you can win. That's a win-win. But you got some people that's showing up and y'all seen them and y'all keep promoting them. It's the craziest thing. But you know that they're only in it for themselves. There's a difference between sales to sustain or to keep the business going and sales because you just you're coming with an energy of desperation. All about you. I gotta win. If I'm not winning, ain't nobody winning. That's crazy to me. So anywho, I hope this has been helpful to you. This is our Rise and Grind Live. I think I'm going to go ahead tomorrow when I have my interview as well. I think we'll go ahead and use this and stream live with YouTube. So when we do that, it's going to be at 7 a.m. Eastern time, 6 a.m. Central time. I'm going to be with Felicia Winner. So Felicia is actually a consultant to physical therapists. She helps them cultivate their digital marketing efforts as they are also studying to become physical therapists. She realized this as she was learning and going through PT school, that there was something greater for her. There was a greater calling for her, and content development and leveraging digital marketing. That was her sweet spot. And so she got her sugar rush. And so we're going to highlight what it means when you have to re-navigate from maybe that career path or going to school or that marriage. What does it look like to re-navigate when the traditional career path is just not enough? And then as you're re-navigating, how to leverage, your experiences with developing that content and also developing a strong presence, positive, strong presence using digital marketing. So she'll be live with us for Rise and Grind Live tomorrow. So make sure that you subscribe. Go ahead and share this out with other people. Invite some people to subscribe to the channel because that's all we're doing. We are bringing you people who, again, have your winning season in mind. They want you to win. As you win, they're going to naturally win. So I'm bringing you experts in the field that are vetted, that I've taken my time to vet. Lord, I learned my lesson not vetting people. My goodness, I created some monsters out here, but I have vetted these people. They are, they got business, their operations, they have legal businesses that are formed, that are recognized, that they're paying taxes on, and they also have great content for you based off of their experiences, not just the theory or YouTube University. So make sure you guys join us tomorrow for Rise and Grind Live for episode 34. We'll be with Felicia Winner. She is the digital marketing guru and expert and consultant for those who are in the health and allied health industry. So again, thank you guys for joining in. I'll see you guys on our Do Better Business Cruise in October, as well as our Black Wall Street Exchange that is happening in Tulsa, Oklahoma, February 10th, 2019 at the Greenwood Cultural Center. If you want to learn more about that, make sure that you check out the links in the comments. Click on that. Go ahead and register. We do still have some early bird tables for the Black Wall Street Exchange, and we have a few more cabins left for the cruise. So the cruise, you can deposit down at $50 per person, and then the balance will be due July the 15th of next year, and we'll sail from Jacksonville, Florida, going to Nassau, Bahamas. All right. Can you touch on building business credit in the trucking industry and future videos. Windy City Trucker, I'm glad that you requested that. I do actually have a special guest that I will be bringing on to speak about the trucking industry. That will be speaking specifically about business credit. And he also has helped some wonderful truckers restore some truckers who unfortunately didn't get the best treatment service for their money as it relates to business credit in the trucking industry. So yes, I will be bringing one of my special guests. He's been with me for 2 years now, since the end of 2016, right? He has a certified nonprofit. Like, this is what they do as far as personal credit, business credit. This is it. He has wonderful digital products here, and he has results that I mean, I have results with them. So yeah, I'll be talking more about that in later dates. What I want you guys to realize is what we talked about today, these 5 heartbeats of entrepreneurship, these are really the core of business credit. So making sure your business is formed and structured, making sure your taxes and things, right? We didn't talk much about the DUNS number or the paydex or anything like that, because I'm going to allow my guests, those people who that's their lane, I'm going to let them really iron that through for us, okay? But all of this is content development. All of this is content. How we deliver it to you, whether it's virtual, live, virtual, self-paced, virtual, evergreen, whatever. As long as we get it to you, that's what's important. The good, right information to you, that is what is important. So yes, I will definitely touch bases on that with Windy City Trucker. And if there's any other topics that you guys want to learn about, when I go live, I want this to be I want my channel. I want for people, when they think about me, they think about, I'm going to profit. I know that when LaToya goes live, whatever it is she has to talk about is something good for me. Let me get a notebook. I literally want you to have a notebook that says LaToya Rose, LaToya Rose Lives or something. And it's nothing but your notes from when I go live or when I have broadcasts. It's a good tool. A lot of people are against it. And that's the craziest thing. I think a lot of people are against it because they don't really truly understand it. There's so much conflicting information out there as it relates to business credit. And it becomes very cumbersome. And so I think a lot of times when, like I said, people like to come in desperation. So I think sometimes when we're needing money or whatever the case may be, we just start throwing stuff out there, and it's not where our people, our tribe or whatever are. And so people get kind of confused, and so they get scared, and they're like, oh, I can't leverage business credit. But business credit is just like personal credit. But at the end of the day, you want to get to a point that your business is so cold with it that, that business credit really is, a leveraging tool. It's not a operating tool, if that makes sense. Some people introduce it to you as an operating tool. And for a lot of people, that becomes cumbersome. So as you're educated to know, okay, here's how I can leverage the business credit, right? Whether it's with personal guarantee or not, depending on your situation. Here's how I can leverage it, and it can then be a tool for my expansion, opposed to it being a part of my operations. What I mean by that is this. You have some people who they don't budget. And so they got all of these credit cards, right? And they will spend because they have an impulse to buy, but they cannot afford it. Nor can they afford to pay the balance off. So then you see people have a whole lot of credit card debt. They're waiting for that 7 years for the for the debt to be discarded and different things of that nature, right? But it's like, whoa, bring it back, bring it back. How can you help strengthen someone's mindset as it relates to leveraging credit, business credit, personal credit, whatever? That's what you have to be concerned with, is how is it that you can leverage this to get started, leverage this in case of emergency, but don't let the credit be the thing. Like, oh man, this is how we're keeping the doors open, is we're doing this credit, and then you're out here, borrowing and stealing from Paul and Tyrone to pay back Peter and Keisha. That's when you start getting into the scheming behavior. So yeah, we'll talk about that, and they'll talk more about it. And as you can see, Windy City Trucker, I have a whole different demeanor here on social media at this point. Because I don't want another person who has bad intentions, another wolf, to come into this pasture. Okay, I don't even want them to come near the gates, okay, of this wonderful land of profits, wealth, and net worth and legacy. Like, I don't even want another wolf to think that I am a vessel for them to prey with the E on people. So I have a different demeanor. So I hope that everyone is clear on why I'm just so like, I'm so not in the mood for another scheme or scammer. Okay. All right, cool. Anything else, everybody? Everybody cool? Y'all good? All right. So thank you, Miss Ashley, for this wonderful, beautiful jewelry. Yes, it's a nice $5 piece, y'all. This is what it is. Some of y'all have nice girlfriends. You know, y'all need to go take a good $20 and get her some good sets. Oh, and they got some other pieces I'll be wearing. They got some like a $25 piece. It's like a nice, big, good. I mean, good. It's more sturdy than the $5 pieces, but even the $5 pieces are good, y'all. So if you have, you know, nieces, aunts, and different, you know, young folks like myself, people who like to be jazzy, this Christmas, this paparazzi jewelry is great stocking stuffers as well. Okay, so make sure if you know a paparazzi person, go and really go shop their inventory. They can order things for you as well. All right, so that's that. Hope that this has helped you. These are your 5 heartbeats of your economy. We talked about heartbeat number 3, which was business and entrepreneurship. Tomorrow we will be with Miss Felicia Winne, and she'll be talking about digital marketing as well as operation renavigation when the traditional career path is just not enough for you. All right, talk to you guys soon. Have an amazing day. Bye.